Alright friends, I hope you enjoyed our video today, and if you did, smash that thumbs up. Retake. Alright friends, retake. Hello friends, welcome to the Wednesday show. Today we're going to talk about some more tips and tricks that will make your woodworking experience easier, and always the goal is to avoid measuring where possible. We have to measure sometimes, but the vast majority of the time it is actually more accurate not to measure things, but rather to do fittings using the material we plan to use on the project, and you've seen that throughout my videos. Today I will show you some tips and tricks that will make your experience go faster, easier, and it is more enjoyable. Also, at the end of the video I'm going to announce the winner of our contest, our 400 subscribers, and again we're well on our way. We are over 440 subscribers already, so we're well on our way to 500 subscribers and our big giveaway. So stick around for the tips and tricks, and I will see you at the end of the video with the announcement of our big winner. Thank you. It is very important when you use a sanding method to use protection for your lines. Sanding generates very small particles that if they get into your lines they can actually cause very serious illnesses with long-term negative effects for you. So always wear at least one of those cheap masks like you see me wearing here in this clip, in order to protect your lines from any small fine particles. Additionally, when you sand, make sure that you apply an even pressure and you keep moving the sander, because if you don't, it will take a lot of material out of one spot and not enough from another. Sanding is a fast way to achieve a very smooth surface for your projects. So it is a very important skill to practice and make perfect. Here I show you a technique of how to make sure that when you're using your miter saw you get a perfect angle. Even though there are a delineation, as you see here, a 45 degree for example, it is always best to use your speed square to make sure that your blade is at exactly 45 degrees. This is a very simple, very quick way to ensure that your squares will be perfect and you won't have to worry about it. The same applies for your table saw. Here again I'm looking for a 45 degree square using my speed square, and I go from the back side of the saw blade, and as you can see this is pretty good. I do see a little bit of light in one spot, but when I go in the middle of the blade it virtually disappears, so I'm very happy with that result. That ensures that you're going to have a very good cut. And as you can see there, you can use any kind of any size of board and have very accurate results. The same goes when you make straight cuts. Using your speed square, make sure that you have a 90 degree angle versus just depending on the saw gauge, which is notoriously unreliable and sometimes easy to knock out between cuts. So get in the habit of measuring the angle of your blade before each cut to ensure that you have a very good fit every single time, and that will avoid your headaches during and after you're trying to complete your project. An easy way to ensure that you have a very good 90 degree angle in any piece of wood is to use one of those inexpensive brackets that you can find in any hardware store. They cost less than $1 and they really machine very well and give you a perfect measurement for your angle without having to spend a lot of money for any specialized equipment. Lastly, I want to use the speed square to show you a method of making 45 degree angles on your bandsaw that they are not only extremely accurate but also extremely easy to make. You simply bat the speed square on the side of your bandsaw table and the other side on the 45 on the wood you want to cut, and then holding them together you move it through the blade. I'm sorry my hand is there, but I didn't have anywhere to make this sand. So as you can see, we ended up with a very good 45 here, and this is a quick tip that will prevent you from having to worry about using your bandsaw to make good angles, and many people say you cannot do that. I find that the bandsaw make very good cuts and excellent angles, and I will show you in a moment using the speed square how good an angle we just cut. And as you can see, I have the speed square on the piece of wood. Moving forward, making sure that you have, and I built that in one of our videos, but you can have some form of a very good square, either bought or built, to put in your inside corners before you attach them, so that you make sure that it is a true 90 degree. This is the biggest problem when you connect two pieces of wood, is that your angles are not correct, and this simple technique avoids that mistake altogether. If you want to apply a thin piece of wood into an edge, you can cut a very small strip on your bandsaw or your table saw, and then using painter's tape you can actually hold it while it's gluing. I use painter's tape a lot. It's a very good method in holding light duty projects together and apply pressure that is enough to glue the two surfaces. Keep in mind, you do not have to have extreme pressures for the glue to work. All you really have to do is to have the two surfaces touch each other, and painter's tape achieves that with excellent results. Staying on the subject of clamping power, sometimes we do not have an appropriate clamp for what we want to do. For example, here I was joining two boards to make a tabletop, and I didn't have a really good way to avoid any capping on the material. So my solution to that is actually using weights that I find in yard sales for very little money, and they're a very effective way to keep the wood straight and keep the wood from capping while it is gluing, while my normal clamps apply pressure to keep the joint tight. An exception to my not using a measuring tape rule is when you want to make sure that something that you're building is actually square. Here I was building a gate that you can see in one of my videos, and it is very important as you build something like that that you are perfectly square. Not being square will result in a product that will look odd and really will spoil the technique. So simply using your measuring tape and going from one end to another diagonally and seeing if you have the same distance will ensure that your project will actually be square. Again, you actually don't even see the measure. You can simply lock the tape and then use it to go to the other side, and if you're on the same spot, you're good. You don't even have to see what the dimension is if you don't want to. But this is the best way to ensure that something is square. And in a later episode I will show you how to fix something that it is slightly out of square with a very easy method. When you want to use brad nails on something, you can use a piece of wood like we use here to keep the corner tight, and then simply take it to the edge of your bench so your brad nailer can operate correctly. And you only need to hit one brad nail per side on the corner, and that will provide a very, very strong clamping power until your glue dries. Again, I don't use brad nails as a structural component, but I use them quite a lot to make sure that my joints, especially miter joints as like this one, remain true throughout the project, and I don't have to wait for the glue to dry. But using this piece of wood is easier than using a speed square, because as you can see here, you can use your hand to hold everything together easy and keep the joint true throughout the process. Repeating that in every corner will make sure that whatever you're building is actually going to stay true and it is a very fast and very easy methodology that allows you to ensure that what you build is true in all corners and makes the project looks perfect and very professional without spending a tremendous amount of time making sure that measuring and remeasuring your corners to make sure that they are square. Again here, any piece of wood, a remnants, as long as it has good squares, it's 90 degrees, and you can check that in the way method I saw you earlier in the video. You can actually ensure that you're going to have perfect corners every time, and as you can see, this is a perfect square. So if you're making a picture frame or any other thing, even a door, you will make sure that you are in a perfect condition. Alright friends, I hope you enjoyed our video today, and if you did, please smash the like button. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Share, like and subscribe in order to support the channel and also in order to be part of our future giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, the 400 subscriber winner is Liam Hill. Liam, please send me the address that I will send you your gift for this drawing. And all of you keep in mind that if you're a subscriber, as we approach 500 subscribers, the big giveaway will be a Kindle Fire. So make sure from 400 to 500 subscribers, any video between those two numbers from 400 to 500 will be eligible for the 500 subscriber gift, and that will be the Kindle Fire. So make sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and if you are a subscriber, like and make comments in our videos, and of course share them. Thank you for the support of the channel so far. It has been awesome. I really appreciate the community we're building, and let me know what you would like to see. If you like the Wednesday shows better or the Sunday shows better, if you like more tips and tricks, or if you would like more project builds. Again, thank you very much for supporting the channel, and I will see you Sunday with a build.